Hello, my biddies. How are you today? Welcome to the bonus episode because I don't have anything else. Well, I do have something else to do, but I'm procrastinating. I still have to take my Christmas tree down. Yeah, we haven't done that yet. We put it up really late. We didn't put it up till after my birthday, so it's only been a little over a month. It's not that bad. Not that bad, I promise. so, uh, usually in bonus episodes, we go back to the. My collar is all messed up, isn't it? We go back in time and go through my email of things that Reddit has sent me to read. Um, thing about this is that I don't know how they got this email address. I don't have a, cr- I don't actually have a Reddit account under this persona, so to speak. But they keep sending me stuff. They keep sending me email. How did they get my email? It's very creepy. I do send emails from my other account, my regular account that I have my Reddit account under, but I guess I wasn't ready to come on here. But, yeah, so I don't know how they got the email, although I am on it a lot, obviously, every day, but I'm not subscribed. Why are they sending me emails? But they do. So, we are going to read them. Some of them are didn't make the cut, some of them well, most of them didn't make the cut, we'll say that. Um, so anyway, we got all the regular ones. Hopefully, we'll find something that has updates. I don't know how long I'll be on here. I didn't sleep good last night at all. Like, I slept for 2 hours and then I was up for like 5 or 6. And then I slept another hour or 2 till my husband came in and woke me up. And he came in just as I was falling asleep. And then we don't sleep together. We sleep better apart, so we sleep apart. It's not a big deal. Don't worry. We still do the things. Um, they came on just as I was drifting off and scared me. So I thought I wouldn't get back to sleep then. But I did, and I didn't hear him leave because he comes in, he uses the bathroom, then he leaves and goes to his bedroom. I didn't hear him leave, so I was already asleep by the time he did his nightly routine in the bathroom. He does that a lot. It's fine. Usually I'm up later than him anyway, so it's not a big deal. But sometimes he wakes me up. And this morning he woke me up. He woke me up last night. And he woke me up this morning. All right, so we're gonna start with Retail Hell, and this is an email from October 31st of last year. Last year being like what, 2 months ago? Less than 2 months ago, less than 3 months ago. I don't do the math. Sorry, sorry, I don't do the math. Um, all right, it's entitled. Well, this. Well, it's my first time to have to file a police report on a customer. And it's flared customers suck. And sometimes they do. I'm locking the doors 1 minute till closing. This lady comes speeding up in her car, rolls down her window, and screams, I still have a minute. And then I said, according to my clock, you don't. We're closed for the night. That's fair. She then huffed, and I locked the door to continue closing duties. 15 minutes later, she's still out in her car, so I leave and lock up. She proceeded to scream, see, I had time, but you were being selfish and wouldn't let me shop. No, when the shop closes, and if there's nobody in there at 1 minute too, you can't shop in a minute. Just stop. You cannot shop in a minute. Don't even with me. Guess you don't need my business. Yeah, probably don't, lady. They're probably fine without you and probably better off, too, to be honest. I proceeded to walk past her car to get to mine. Giving her since I wasn't giving her a reaction, she said, "Next time you come, your cars will be slashed." I took a picture of her license plate because I'm not out to be threatened over a literal minute. While this whole ordeal was happening, I was on the phone with my mom because you never know. So my mom heard what she was saying. I proceeded to make a police report when I got home. The customer ended up making a review also on Google against the store, so now I have her full name to add to the report. She had to have been under the influence of something, right? It's always a good idea if somebody threatens you, especially your to have documentation and make a police report. They won't do anything. They won't do anything unless, if she came and slashed her tires the next day, they would know who the suspect was. We're all gonna have to have cameras sooner or later, aren't we? To keep these people from terrorizing everybody and everyone. The top comment is from a deleted account says, I love those people who think that their personal wristwatch is the last word on time. I had a guy literally shrieking at me and accusing the store of opening an hour late one day. He wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise, was calling me nasty names, etc. Then I told him that I don't care what cave he lives in, but the clocks went back an hour due to the seasonal time change, and he needs to check himself. This is what happens when you don't use your phone on your or the clock on your phone. And it's not my fault. He was the only human who didn't pay attention to the calendar or TV. His big dire purchase was a newspaper that he could have bought at any of the Wanging convenience stores that opened 2 hours before us. So Star says that's extra funny considering pretty much the only things that don't change themselves are the oven and the microwave. That's true. Well, and my alarm clock, which I don't use. I only use it for the time. I don't use the alarms at all, ever. I use my phone for the alarms. They seem to, well, if the power goes out, Kevin McAllister, you power goes out and you're using a phone for your alarm, you don't miss your alarm that way. Now I have slept through the alarm before, but I figure if you don't if you're not one of those people who sleeps through the alarm all the time and you only do it occasionally, you needed that sleep. You needed that sleep. Don't abuse it, but sometimes you just need more sleep, and that's all there is to it. Oh, next we have I don't work here, lady, and this sounds really familiar. I think we read that one. I think we read that one. And that one doesn't seem to be there. That one was deleted. This is the problem with going back in time. They have more time to delete stuff. This is entitled people is super short, super short. Best friend deliberately avoided my 30th birthday, yet expects me to attend his. My friend said he would come for my 30th birthday. When he found out other people were dropping out, he blanked me for a week. When asked to confirm, he told me he wasn't coming if the others weren't. Well, that's just rude. At least my bestie shows up. He ended up going to another event. Today I asked if I was free the week of his birthday. What a cheeky jokester. Yeah, if you're not gonna be around for me, I ain't gonna be around for you. That's just that's just fair. This is from Mother-in-Law's from Hell, which we don't read very often because it's not a very popular subreddit. It appears I may be making an impact. Might be, but I still have my doubts. DH had a long and he claims productive discussion with mother-in-law. I'm still not talking to her or being around her when she comes over, and it's really getting under her skin. I've spent exactly 1 hour looking at clothes she bought for the kids one day, and that's it. Outside of that, I've completely ignored her and avoided being anywhere near her, which she views as being cowardly. Also, she brought me a cute Disney shirt. She does things like that when I go silent. That's a good way to get stuff and get some merch that way. I was out of the house when she came over, and of course, she made a negative remark about me going off to do things while DH is stuck at home with the kids. Well, yeah, daddy can parent his own children occasionally at least. Probably more than occasionally. Should be doing a lot more than he probably does. And not being around when she comes at by anymore. Yeah, that's because he tells you when to come over when she's not there, dude. You not understand what's going on. Not that it's her business, but I was at a memorial service supporting a friend of mine who lost her partner and have been helping her take care of his final affairs since she passed away a few months ago. She has no other support. That's really sad. I'm sorry. Sorry for your friend, um, OP. Husband did explain that our parenting of her kids at time is challenging because we have 3 kids and she only had one. My leaving a house and doing other things, be it helping a friend or going shopping for downtime and recharging, does not make me a bad mother. And no, it doesn't. We spent the morning as a family at the farmer's market, by the way. He reiterated that her jokes about hitting me with the maid's cart are not actually jokes because he knows she was annoyed with me when she said it. So there was also an element of truth to what she said and how she felt. He said she admitted he was right. She'll tell me to let her know when something annoys her. Then acts as pissy and irritated when I do, and she will darvo. Darvo, for what you don't know, is an abusive technique where the perpetrator of the abuse deflects. It's DARVO. Deflects, um, accuses, reverse victim and offender. That's what it stands for, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Don't quote me, I could be wrong, but it's pretty close to that. Reverse direct, reverse victim and offender is for sure the RVO part. She was annoyed because I asked him to tell her to back off when she continually complained that what we packed for our last trip. She knows we use everything we pack, be it a coffee maker. We've heard too many horror stories about hotel ones. Food, a potty seat, bed rails, a small pharmacy. Someone always needs meds. You have to pack a small pharmacy in your bag. It's true. Dishes, etc. It has zero bearing on her, but damned if she won't share her opinion that we pack too much stuff compared to her one bag. Well, how many people do you have compared to the one bag? I mean, we can usually fit everything into 2. If it's a weekend, sometimes even 1, but I don't usually make coffee in the coffee maker anyway. Usually there's coffee downstairs because I almost always get get a place that has free breakfast, though they have coffee. Um, so that's not an issue. I don't need a potty seat or bed rails because I don't have kids. But we do small pharmacy. We take snacks. Um, we don't take dishes. I might pack a knife. I have to have my sound machine though. I need a smaller one. I really need to buy a smaller one to to just keep in the suitcase. Love my sound machine. Um, there's zero bearing on her, but damned if she won't share her opinion that we pack too much compared to her one bag. I prefer to reuse dishes instead of packing a bunch of stuff that will end up in a landfill. And something I've done since childhood in order to save money and travel expenses. I don't know. There are times where it's called where throwaway dishes are called for. Vacation is one of them. My mill was an only child. My mother had 4 kids. That's how we traveled and saved money and avoided eating out all the time. We took our own stuff. Dad hauled a trailer behind our van. Oh, it seems like a lot. We did go on a road trip once and took coolers and peanut butter jelly. I don't eat bologna, so I don't get that, but ham, chicken, Jelly chicken. Peanut butter and jelly don't even really need a refrigerator for. I know it says that you need to refrigerate jelly. Don't. That stuff's full of sugar. It's a natural preservative. You can get away with it for like a week. She asked if we needed to even bother going on this trip with us or if she even needs to be around anymore. I know this is her victim mentality asking this question. Victim mentality is so annoying. He explained to her that this really isn't the kind of relationship he wants. He wants her to be grandma, and that's it. He told her that I care what they think about me, and they really hurt me with the negative things she and my father in law have said over the years. Telling us we pack too much stuff, for example, isn't helpful and doesn't affect her. So she doesn't need to worry about it. Yes. If it's not affecting your life, you don't need to worry about it. Leave your kids alone. She made the comment to him that, well, we're just going to have to put our big girl panties on then and grow up. He thinks that's a generational mindset different. He shut it down and said, no, you need to be more mindful of what you say to my wife or just don't say anything. We don't want that kind of negativity. If you're going to be negative, keep it to yourself. We're not asking your opinions. Just be there and enjoy the vacation. I've already addressed questions about why we're still traveling with her to Disney in previous posts. He told her that saying to put our big girl panties on is like telling a child to calm down. No one calms down when you tell them to, so it's dismissive of how they feel. It's not helpful, it's judgmental, and I'm tired of them judging me, so I'm choosing not to be around. He thinks she's starting to understand. My stance: big girls aren't mean to each other and don't make mean girl jokes to each other. I am being a big girl. I've dropped the rope and walked away. The jump rope? Is it a jump rope? I'm not required to subject myself to continual verbal abuse, hatred, and judgment from her, and I'm tired of trying. She's had 12 years to figure out how to like me. He asked what our plans are for Christmas, and I told him I don't have any, that I'm not going to be around for Christmas break. That's weird. It's got a weird notification on my phone about Gemini. I wasn't even planning on decorating or seeing his parents. Oh, come on. Not even decorating? That's terrible. Your kids still need a Christmas to enjoy, you know? He's welcome to do whatever with the kids and figure out childcare, but I won't be around. He asked me if he could join me and we would take the kids out of town. I told him fine, but I'm not hearing about it from mother in law. I'm not taking her crap this year. Tell her off if she starts. He says he'll address it with his mom. Given how she acted last year when we went out of town, he also asked if we could decorate for Christmas. I said I'd help, but I don't want to hear any complaining when it's time to do so. That was part of the problem this year. This year has been so bad. We didn't want to decorate for Christmas. Well, I don't have kids at home. And that is all for that email. And I can delete it. Trash you. Well, I can probably trash this too. So this is from October 29th. I have to find one. By moderator. It's from Entitled People, entitled Woman Wants to Take a Photo. A couple of years ago, my colleague and I were in the midst of getting our stall at Christmas market set up. A few days before it started, I assume the Christmas market was a few days before the start of the Christmas market. After waiting in a queue of vehicles to be allowed into the site, we pulled up in the Land Rover. I'm sorry. You gotta tell me you're driving a Land Rover. That's kind of entitled. with a large trailer attached. Jumped out and started to unload. Before we had a chance to start cart trolleying loads of stuff to our stall, a woman marches up to us and says, "Can you back up the vehicle? I want to take a picture of the reflection of the Abbey in the puddle you just parked in." After a moment, we realized she was serious. She politely said, "No, we couldn't. We have a very small window of time to unload. We have a trailer that is a pain to reverse, and several vans have since parked behind us." Clearly, she wasn't used to being told no. Told us she hoped to have had an awful time at the market and stormed off. We still laugh about it at the workshop to this day. I think you were both kind of jerks. Mentioning a Land Rover put me off. Sorry. Like just say SUV, van, whatever. Oh, this is looks like it could be a good one. Nope, deleted. It's from Am I the Devil, and it's just entitled Edit. Originally from Am I the A-hole? AITA for never sending a new text and always editing my last one. So how do you do that? Yeah, you kind of are. So apparently this is psychotic behavior, but I genuinely don't see the problem. I hate sending multiple texts, so instead of adding a new one, I just edit the last message I sent. I don't think that I don't think that works that way. Like if I text leaving now and then remember I forgot my wallet, I'll just edit it to leaving in 5. Clean, efficient, no spam. Except people are mad because they don't get notified when I edit. My friends miss plans. My wife thinks I've been abducted when I change here to running late. And my boss calls it gaslighting by iMessage. Oh, maybe you can do that on an iPhone. I don't think you can do that on Android, and I'm kind of glad. Honestly, that just no, no, don't do that. If they've already seen the message, you have to send a new message or they're not going to look at that message again. That message is gone. I think it looks neater than sending ignore that or actually. They say it's confusing and I'm rewriting history. True. AITA for wanting messages to look clean in one forever text message instead of blowing up the chat like an unhinged telegraph operator. Dude, you look unhinged. Some a deleted person says this is a weird form of assholery I didn't know existed. The stupidest crap people will do just so they can inconvenience others astounds me. The doorbell queer art says I literally just never make plans with this dude. Or I'd assume he was probably wasn't showing up. Either way, wang that guy. People whose text messages get notified for don't even get a quick response as I forget what my phone is a lot. Is it looks like it might have been the same deleted guy says, agreed. It looks like who thinks to constantly check their phone to see if the messages was edited. Exactly. You look at it, oh, he'll be here in 5 minutes. 10 minutes later, hasn't showed up because he's running late and he didn't bother sending another text. He just edited the one before. You're not going to see that. It looks like everyone around that dude agrees as well. Megatronia says, is editing messages an iPhone thing? I've never noticed this function on Android. Girl, same. My best friend and I don't even bother clarifying typos when we message each other unless the person can't work out what was supposed to say, because 99.9% of the time, context clues are enough to figure it out. Sometimes I point them out because they're funny. But yeah, the ability to edit messages just seems weird and sneaky and unnecessary. Deleted says, I don't know. I've never had an iPhone before. Like you still have to hold the text and click the edit button. So what's on the point even? And he's going to have to add a new message when no one can see the OG one after they've sent several messages. So what's the point? Someone says you can do it on an iPhone. A little thing pops up to show the message was edited. You can't pretend you didn't change it, but it doesn't trigger notifications. Yeah, that would be annoying. I'm not an iPhone user. No Apple products here. There are reasons for it. Okay, that's all for that one because they were all deleted. Hmm. This is from Retail Hall, and it's entitled "You Never Realize How Helpless People Are Until You Work in Retail." And it's flared customers suck because they do. I've had people ask me for the password to their phones. I've had them ask me to help them get their password for their email. People ask me how to exit the store or ask me what store they're in. Guess going back to the phones thing, people that say, "I don't have internet." You have a smartphone. I can see it in your hand, dude. Come on. Also, you're on Facebook. I can see you on there. I was ordering parts for a guy's car, and when I asked him what car he had, he told me he didn't know. People come in requesting help setting up a product, but they refuse to read the instructions. As in, I'll ask them if they read it, and they'll tell me they don't want they don't want to. Another person was telling me they needed a computer for school, and I asked them if the class they were taking and any requirements for the computer. They straight up told me what the class they were taking, as if I would somehow know what they would need. Then they show me the class on the school's website as if that meant anything. I mean, these people were wangy adults, mostly middle-aged folk. Well, that's your problem. Those people don't want to be computer literate for some reason. I don't know why. It's just that these people have no self-reliance whatsoever. The door to their houses could be locked key in hand, and they will call somebody to open it for them, not out of laziness, but out of pure ignorance. The biggest issue they all have is reading. Zero reading comprehension. It's seriously bad. I'm talking emergency. I'm talking elementary level of understanding a sign. It's so frustrating dealing with these people. So many times I've gotten in trouble for telling them these issues are their responsibility. They need to take responsibility for themselves for Wang's sake. It's like I'm an adult babysitter sometimes, and I have to walk them through the most basic things in life, such as reading wanging instructions on the verbiage on a sign. It's pure luck that these people aren't dead from their own ignorance. That is very true. Proper says, as someone who has been reading since the age of 3, I'm continually shocked just how many adults have very low literacy skills. Girl, same. Ashkender said 1 in 4 adults in the U.S. reads at or below the 6th grade level. It's appalling. I was reading my very easy to read book today or last night, and I had to look something up because I had to look up how long the freaking book was. I never did find out, but um, I did find that it's a 9 to 12 reading level, and I'm like, oh, hmm. I guess I don't. I guess I read better than a 9 to 12 reading group because it seemed easy to me. There's no big words or anything. I'm gonna have to look up my reading levels it more my reading the reading levels of the books I read more often because that was kind of interesting. It's not a hard book to read, and I can't believe that people have less than a 6th grade reading level. They're not reading. Um, oh shoot, now I forgot her name. It's by the author of The Handmaid's Tale. So they're not reading like other stuff that she wrote. I don't know what Handmaid's Tale reading level is. That was easy to read too. Laying through that book. Whoosh. Salt Elephant says, I work at a bank and I cannot believe how many wealthy boomers couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag. They come in scared their social security check is late and want their balance to see if it came in yet. Ma'am, you have 212,632.89 in that account. You will always get your money on the third Wednesday of the month. It's only the 7th. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Another comes in with a letter from the bank and demands to know what it says. Did you read it? No. That's another thing. But they're scared because their money might not be safe. Sir, your money is safe. It says your driver's license information was updated. Calm down, sir. Did you recently have a birthday or had to get a new ID because the old one expired? Yes. Looks like we changed the expiration date on the computer. That's what the letter says. The person on the phone who says they're holding your grandson hostage. Oh, my dad got that call. And you need $5,000 of iTunes gift cards to pay the ransom. Have you called your grandson to see if he's actually been kidnapped? Goes on and on. Clueless wealthy boomers. Yeah, my dad got a call from somewhere, and he answers all his calls. He's not even a boomer. He's a silent gen. Um, so he answers the call, and the guy says that they've arrested my oldest one, and he needs money for bail. Like, first of all, if my son needed money for bail, he would call his parents because they're way better off than my dad. He would not be calling my dad for bail. He'd be calling me or my husband for bail. So my dad was suspicious right away. He's s- savvy. So he leads them on for a little while, and he says, "Well, where's he at?" And they said somewhere in Michigan because he has a Michigan driver's license. Blah blah blah. He said, "Oh, that's impossible. My grandson's in Arkansas," because he was. And the one where the person didn't read their email. I've had people like in places that they broke rules, and it's like, well, I didn't know that was a rule. Well, how did you not know that was a rule? It's in the handbook. Well, I didn't read that. Like, sir, well, maybe you should. Nobody reads that. I'm like, sir, I would have read that. That would have been the first thing I would have read. Promise. Right after the financial crap. Okay, so then the second thing I would have read. This is from Mother-in-Laws from Hell. Found recordings on child's camera with mother-in-law and sister-in-law slating me. I don't know what that means. Slating. It's not slatting, it's slating. They're basically completely annihilating me and my character. So I don't know. They're insulting you. Saying I'm such an empty person and my husband is only married to me because of that, and pointing to my two children who were in the room at the time. Eldest girl is nearly 10 and came home and told me months ago they were saying not nice things about me, but I told her not to worry. Maybe she was mistaken. They were talking about someone else. Turns out, nope, it was me. Just to give context, this is 10 days after we had them over for Christmas Day dinner. I come from a family of a lot of trauma, two addict parents, and I've always tried to be the best mother I can be, and always tried very hard with my in-law as we lived quite close proximity, unfortunately. But my instinct turns out I was right. I had a miscarriage days after finding the recordings, nearly 7 weeks. Hospital said it was most likely an unviable pregnancy as I was early, but myself and my husband had been arguing about how to handle the situation. I wasn't sleeping or eating. It's probably just not going to happen. Although I do have a supportive, loving husband, I understand he's stuck in a bad place. But if I'm honest, my self-worth is complete at rock bottom. I keep replaying everything in my head as there weren't pretty horrible things said over two-thirds of the recording. Even then, they use that word again. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I know I'm quite vulnerable, and all I can think of is confronting them. Any advice is greatly appreciated. You should confront them. They shouldn't be talking about you behind your back, especially in front of your kids. Who does that? Who talks about somebody behind their back in front of their own kid, in front of that person's kids? It's going to get back to them, even if they dismiss it at first. If you keep doing it, it's going to get back to them. Mama to Babas says, I suffered a miscarriage after going no contact with my mother-in-law. I was also unable to eat and beyond stress. I didn't know I was pregnant until the week after the no contact. Your husband isn't in a hard position. Your husband isn't caught in the middle of you and his family of origin. Your husband is refusing to protect his wife and children from his mother and sister's cruelty. You suffered a loss and he's being insensitive to your feelings and needs. They are allowed to dislike you, but they cannot speak ill of you in front of your children. 100%. This is a massive problem. They need to be removed from having unsupervised access to your children until they can respect you as a mother and not attempt to poison your children against you. What is wrong with your husband? Somebody answers that saying, "Thank you for this. In these situations, women are absolutely need to understand their husbands or vice versa are not caught in the middle. They are not stuck in a bad situation. He's your husband. You and the kids are his family. He is either on your side and sticks up for you every single time, or you yeet him out the door back to his mama. There's nothing else to it." We'll end on that one. This one's probably not there. By moderator. This was I don't work here lady, and I was the one this time. I went for early voting today, and after submitting my ballot, I was just going to leave. I was kind of debating if I wanted an I voted sticker, as I usually get them if available. The table was right next to the machine, and there were a bunch of stickers there. There were two people standing on the edge, one hunched over writing something, and the other standing seemed to be giving direction or just talking. I didn't get very far when I paused, turned around near the table. Me, excuse me, can I have an I voter's sticker, please? Woman, oh, I'm not a poll worker. Me, oh, I'm sorry. Woman, they seem to be just on the side of the table. I'm sure you can just take one. Me, yeah, I guess I'll thank you though. I grabbed one of the stickers on the table and walked out. I know it's not exciting or funny as others, but I thought I'd still share. Rainbow Mama says, I wish mail in ballots came with an I voted sticker. Me too. Me too. They're saying some of the states do. Mine doesn't. Malicious compliance. Yep, it's there. Okay. This is entitled, okay, my turn now. Years ago, I worked at a department store that was known for gimmick promotions. This particular promotion was spend $50 and get this frying pan for $5. It was a quality item worth more, but one per customer. Management stressed that because they did not receive a large quantity. One lady's one one day a lady says I spent $150. Can I get three of them? No, that's not how that works. You can come in 3 times and spend $50. Maybe you'll get away with it, but not that. Politely, I say no, it's one to a customer. She throws a hissy fit and demands to see the manager. I call him and he arrives, chats with her, and tells us to give her the 3 pans. Okay, he leaves. Another customer comes up and asks, how many can I get? I reply, you can get as many as you can carry. My coworker said we can't do that, but I did and did that to every customer that asked. We ran out of pans quick. Manager became more thoughtful about embarrassing employees in front of customers like that. You didn't get fired for that? The aimless patron says, my favorite thing about my manager is how often he will say to customers, as my agent explained, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, that's a good manager. Standing up for your employees. That's what you should do. Actually, Yulia says, mine goes, what did she tell you? Oh, sounds right. And it sounds like you understood perfectly. Yeah, I used to do a lot of phone stuff, and somebody would ask if they could break a rule. Always. Can we stay another 2 days? No, I'm sorry. You can't. Well, can you ask the boss? Sure. Hang up the phone. Hey, blah, blah, blah wants to stay another 2 days. Can they do that? I already told them no. She said no. That's how we did it. Should have taken the opportunity to go get coffee or go to the bathroom or something. Don't put employees in bad situations like that. It's not right that you're doing that. I think this is gonna be the last one. I know it's early, but this is gonna be the last email we're gonna go through. I don't know why they're all from the same ones, but they are. Oh, there's a different one in here. This from Retail Hell, and it's flared seeking advice. And it says the flare is as close as I could get from what I'm actually posting. Grocery retail without SNAP benefits. I work for a large chain grocery store. As of now, November food stamps, SNAP, and EBT will not be added to cards. We have a large base of food stamp users. So this is when the government was shut down. They were being stupid. I'm actually kind of terrified. Will these shoppers know that they don't have the money? Will they assume that they do and show for $300 in groceries and then be pissed at the register? I mean, I've been doing this long enough to know that that will happen. But do we think it will be constant? Will they know they don't have it and try anyway? I feel like this is going to be a fight for weeks. I want the store to post a sign, something like, due to the government shutdown, SNAP benefits are not available for November. Please check your card's at phone number or website before shopping with us today. We all know no one will read it, but they'll all blame me. Any advice on how to ask management for signage or how to speak to these customers would be greatly appreciated. This post is not political in any way, just trying to be prepared. You have a sign at um every register, and when somebody asks a question, you point to the sign. That's the easiest way to do it. The businesses should use more signs, to be honest. Like you run out of something, let people know at the door. That way they can go somewhere else if they need to. This is from I Don't Work Here Lady, and it's entitled Happened Again on Saturday. I was in Harbor Freight browsing the air compressor aisle. Some dude came up and gave me the "Do you work here" bit. I just told him no and he walked away. No hassle, argument, no story. It just keeps happening. What are you wearing, sir? Don't go in Target with a red shirt on. You should know this by now. This is probably deleted. Oh, it's not. This is from Oh No Consequences. And it says OOP grossly mismanages their employees and gets fired. Last update is hopeful at least. Oh, we read that one. We read that one. I know we read that one. Like way a long time ago, but we read that one. Here's one from Confession. And it's entitled I Lost Weight and Became Fat Phobic. I can't look at fat people without thinking horrible things. Well, that's pretty rude. You were those people once. You should have compassion. 22 female, prior to losing weight, about 50 pounds from obese to a healthy weight. I was super lazy and didn't care about myself at all. I ended up losing weight very easily over a healthy period of time, and to be honest, it wasn't hard at all for me. Must be nice. I made simple changes and overall adapted to healthier lifestyle. However, since I've lost the weight, I can't help but look down on those who are fat. I never say anything or act in a certain way to manifest these thoughts, but they are always there. And to be frank, it's really unnecessary. It's unnecessary thoughts like, wow, she's got a really bad double chin right now. Or, ooh, his fat really wobbles when he walks. I don't know how to change. I think a deep part of me feels some superiority because I've been success, but it's successful in sustained weight loss. You can't even type, lady. You shouldn't judge people. I even liked someone but couldn't really get into them because they were fat. In all honesty, I would have pursued the relationship if they weren't fat. I mean, that's a different thing, being attracted and them being judgy. It's almost as if no matter how much I like someone or how nice they are automatically perceived in a certain way because of their body. I can't help but overanalyze every bite they take. And if they're out of breath doing certain things, I even go out of my way to take the stairs if they take the lift. And then I just feel like a jackass because I refuse to take the lift with my friend. Your friends need a better friend. I think part of me deep down wants all of this to do psychologically to separate myself from them and fatness in itself. As long as I'm overcritical of fat people and disdain them, I am comfortable in my weight and appearance. I'm scared that if I stop thinking these things, I'll end up becoming too comfortable and gaining weight too. I'm not sure if anyone will understand this, but I appreciate opinions on it. It's been conflicting me a bit because I can't help but think these horrible things about my friends. I think you need help. I think you need to go see a psychologist, lady. Vivid General says, it sounds like projection to me. You hated yourself for being fat, and now you're redirecting that hatred towards other fat people. You lost weight physically, but not mentally. Clear yourself of that mental baggage, and you'll be fine. Mish on Impossible says, you lost weight physically, but not mentally. That was a whole bar. Yeah, you need to go see somebody about this. Get some therapy because you shouldn't be feeling like that. Last one for today. I know it's short. I don't care. This is from Wang HOA. Full of concerns. My former HOA's infamous email. Hi, everybody. The other day I was reminded of this email I got from my former HOA. I figured you would all like it. This email never not be funny to me. Background. We received this email back in 2011 when we were living in a new built community of single family homes outside of Phoenix, Arizona. One of the biggest selling points was tried to push on us when we were buying our home was this aquatic center, which honestly wasn't that impressive. And we never even used it once, but it was their pride and joy. We were some of the first people to move into the community back in 2011 and or 2010, sorry. And it was a nice little community, but it didn't take long for things to devolve enough to warrant this email. But yeah, I figured y'all would love to read about the stuff that was going on at our aquatic center. It's entitled Pool Concerns, date 7/11/2011. Dear neighborhood homeowners. The aquatic center at neighborhood is a beautiful amenity. It's a place that fosters the opportunity to meet new neighbors and grow friendships in an environment of fun water activities. In many instances, home buyers made their final decision to purchase in the neighborhood community based on the availability of the aquatic center and all the fun-filled opportunities it provided. Unfortunately, several situations have recently occurred at the aquatic center that are of concern to the board of directors, the management company, and most importantly, witnessing community members. This beautiful facility is owned by the homeowners association, which means each homeowner in the community has vested interest in the aquatic center. It is not owned by the home builder, as some owners have indicated. Therefore, the short, long-term maintenance of the facility, as well as the liability for the proper oversight of the facility, is incumbent on the association and its membership. That's usually how it works. Purposeful damages increase general liability by non-residents and non-rule abiding residents, in which cause lawsuits, and additional cleaning and monitoring needs of the aquatic center fall upon all owners through increased assessments. Recent examples of misuse include, but are not limited to, the following. Alcohol. This is a chronic problem. Please note that the pool rules explicitly indicate that no alcohol is allowed at the aquatic centers. Homeowners should report public drinking to the police. Bikes, skateboards in the pool splash pad area. The pool rules prohibit these items from being in the pool splash pad area. There are bike rats in front of the entrance. These all sound like normal rules to me. Large parties, homeowners inviting upwards of 20 to 30 guests to use the pool facility. The intent was the facility to support fun for families and guests where the guests were limited in number. This assures the use by aquatic center by all. Okay, so put in a number of guests that you're limited to. And then people won't bring 20 or 30 guests. Use of pool for baptism. No, the public pool is not your church's pool, sir. You can buy baptismals for that, believe it or not. Lately, they've been using horse troughs. This is weird. The use of the aquatic center for large groups and religious functions is strictly prohibited. That seems fair to me. Fireworks at the pool. The HOA prohibits setting fireworks in its common areas, which includes the aquatic center, all community parks, and green belts. Rough play. A report of watermelon tossing in the swimming pool. Also, of riding bikes off the deck into the water. Yeah, don't do that. Play nicely in the pool area, please. Leaving trash on deck areas and in restrooms. Don't do that either. These are just common sense, people. Community members and their guests are expected to clean up after themselves. Increased trash left in the pool area not only increases the monthly fees charged by the cleaning company, but also provides the opportunity for trash to blow about the community. Unsupervised children defecating in the pool and on restroom floors. Okay, you're just going to get defecating in the pool. Restroom floors, that's gross. You need to monitor your kids. But 2-year olds don't really, well, little kids, babies, older toddlers can kind of, but even if they're still in diapers. But little kids, they don't care if they're in the pool or not. The health department requires that the pool be closed for 24 hours when such an incident occurs in the pool. Uh-huh. In addition, there is an additional charge by the cleaning company to clean up such deliberate vandalism of the restrooms. Both incidents not only inconvenience those wishing to use the facility, but also have the potential to cause increased assessments to all owners in the community. Well, how do you're allowing visitors, so how do you know that the owners are doing it? Misuse of barbecue area. Witness observed someone lighting the barbecue with WD-40. What? That's not normal? Loud music. The pool rules require that music be played at a reasonable level. There was one report of a family that brought in live music. Okay, that sounds fun though. Unless it's my son's friend's band, in which case it's not so great. The windows of the multi-purpose room have been severely scratched. They will be expensive to replace. How did they get scratched? Do you not have cameras in this area, sir? Underage children at the facility without their parents' supervision, sorry. Strictly prohibited by the pool rules and regulations in accordance to the community's general liability insurance requirements. Well, yes. Children under a certain age need to be supervised by their parents at all times in a public space like that. Residents from other communities being let into the facility, they simply wait in the parking lot until someone, usually children, let them in. The aquatic center is for the strict use of community members and their invited guests. Others are not allowed to use the facilities. Teens are seen climbing over the fence. Yeah, that's going to happen. That's just going to happen. Carving the rubber coating on the picnic tables with sharp objects. Such vandalism costs each owner the form of repair and aesthetic eyesore. No, never mind. I know what they're talking about. People carving picnic tables. That's like kids do. Homeowners are encouraged to advise management of the names of residents who are in violation of the pool rules or cause damage to the facility so that proper follow-up can be done. Residents are also encouraged to call the police when they see trespassing or illegal activities such as public drinking. When management receives a report of a violation of any of the community rules, the association will use all means available as outlined in the CC and RS bylaws and rules and regulations, which include but are not limited to suspending the card access key for the offending homeowner and imposing fines. Thank you for your understanding cooperation. Board of Directors. So the baptism thing, I'm like 95% sure it was done by the church I was going to at the time. They were known for going anywhere there's water baptisms like that. Why do they not have a baptismal in their church? I'm confused. Pastor even talked about doing baptisms in a pool at somebody's house before a sermon. That's fine. If a church member wants to open their home and have a baptism in their pool, that's fine. I got baptized in my family's lake by my grandfather. The other churches in the area were LDS or churches that did more traditional baptism. I do not attend this church anymore, but I promise it's not because of this email. And before anyone asks, sadly, I've not lived in that neighborhood since 2013, so I don't know the current state of the aquatic center. I hope my former neighbor's wacky behavior and the resulting email made you laugh today. I've talked about sharing this in the past, but I'm just getting around to it now. Actually, it didn't make me laugh except for the baptismal thing. Commercial Fund said, my old pool, we could drink, but no glass containers, so beer had to be canned or keg in the park. Of course, then no one should be drunk at a pool or really in public. The rest are basic common sense and courtesy. Yes, I know. Both tend to be short supply. One guy says, "I'm all for hating HOAs, but holy crap, your neighbors sound like a piece of work. This aquatic center needs its own TikTok." Prophecies, yes. Honestly, the scale of what I've seen on this most of these rules seem fairly reasonable. Don't crap in and around the pool, people. Keep your crap in the to the appropriate receptacles. I mean, it's not that hard, right? All right, I'm gonna get off of here for now. I'm really tired, and I'll probably get on tomorrow because I'm gonna be alone again. Alone again. All right. Oh, I did. Well, maybe I'll cover that on Monday. I'll cover that on Monday when more people are probably going to be watching it on regular episode. So I will see you later. Have a good day. Bye. Love you, biddies. Bye.